Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for coming tonight. I'm Linda McClellan, an RN for more than 20 years, actually 25. And I've really found that we really need to do a medicine cabinet makeover because my dogs will stop barking in a second. We're getting some people back in the house from a walk. So there they are. Okay. But so and you can also make some things for the dogs. So I'm glad actually they did bark because our dogs are people too. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But basically, this is the way our parents raised us, right? Is to get the Excedrin, the Motrin, all these things. But we actually just need a few basic oils. The top 10 oils can replace 85% of our issues. So I'd rather have something holistic like this that doesn't add toxins to our life than something from the olden days. Okay, so let me, right. So a little bit backing up, a little bit about myself. For those who don't know me, I know a lot of people on the Zoom class tonight. I have been at RN, dedicated my life to helping people, and I love it. Like in the hospital, I'm still working there every other weekend at Wake Med, Raleigh campus. For those who are local, I love moms and babies. I love everyone who just needs to feel better, right? But some things there, it's not really going to help different people, different situations. We definitely need emergency care. We need cardiac care. We need that broken bones. But what if your daughter, like mine, want to tell you a quick story? I'll make it brief. My daughter, four daughters, the one that you can see right here, she's going to graduate from NC State in about 2 months' time. Well, when she was 12, turning 13, she got digestive issues that would not go away. Like she lost 20 pounds, like it seemed like overnight. And, we did a lot of conventional testing because I'm a conventional nurse. We did, CT scans, MRIs. We did, every single thing you can imagine, that the GI stool tests, nothing showed parasites. And she used to say, Mom, I think something's eating me. So it was like a horror movie. And she's an identical twin. So what's the difference between the twins? Like, why did one get sick and one didn't? And so Jennifer would complain about stomach pain. And of course, I'm a nurse. So I would be like, well, what's your pain number? 1 to 10, 10 being the worst. And she would daily tell me it's like a 4. And I was thinking it was emotional because her and her sister had tried out for a show and the other one had gotten one of the lead roles and she didn't. So I'm not like, I do know that emotions can play a huge role in health, so of course that could have entered into the whole problem. But she did finally get diagnosed with something called leaky gut. And leaky gut is actually, the gut is his hole whenever we're born. And of course, if you get the good colostrum from the mother's milk, it's going to build up even better than like somebody who might have gotten formula. Like it's just good bacteria versus, so bacteria. So, I did breastfeed them, but all the things. But our one daughter, Jennifer, she did receive more antibiotics. And possibly even more genetically modified organisms because the time she got sick was probably about 9 years ago. And that was whenever, if you remember the box labeling, there was not labeling about, GMOs then. It came out like around 9 years ago. And all of a sudden, I was realizing like Life cereal, which we used to eat daily, it said genetically modified organisms. So we have changed so many things in our lives, but long story short, we did get help finally with essential oils. We were put on other supplements, other things, but essential oils are alive. They're plant-based and we are alive. From the earth. So we are meant for each other. So tonight is just about helping you to get your wins because I've got so many wins from that first story of like 3 months of actually finding a protocol that could help heal her gut and for her to like not have chronic stomach pain, have normal bowel movements without an enema. She was like on an enema for like 9 months. So we have definitely replaced our toxic medicine cabinet. The other daughters, we have Megan, she has a master's degree. Lindsay, she has her own business. And here I wanted to show you, I do have a company called Zytoscans.com, and I found it during COVID. Like I found this thing called a Zytoscanner, and it actually can tell us about our detoxification system, gastrointestinal, hormonal, immune system from a simple hand cradle scan. So you can see in that picture, I'm scanning one of my friends who, this was before she found out she has cancer. And so she uses Zyto in her treatment. She does a whole lot of different things conventionally and holistically, but she says every single thing that shows up in the conventional system, like say she has bacteria, or say her hormones or leaky gut or something, it shows up there as the problem. So I love the feedback from her. It's been great. So we will talk about that a little bit too at the end. So basically tonight is about natural solutions. I do have a QR code there for anyone that has come that I've invited. If you would like a follow-up tomorrow or the next day, go ahead and just scan that. And that way I can make sure nobody falls through the cracks from tonight, because I know people are hopping on phones and people are hopping on, because I am a nurse. Like I really do like to talk to everybody individually and not just as a group. I think it's both effective to do that group and individually. All right. So do you need safe, effective, affordable health solutions? Of course we do. We know the price of gas is rising. We know that there's war, there's so many things going on every single day, and we cannot control it, but we can take a really good advocate, like women, which I think most of us are on this call. We're in charge of the health of ourselves and so many around us. So people are looking for us what to do for all the different crises that happen. So there is the modern approach, and the modern approach is designed to manage symptoms. And definitely, like I said, you need, modern approach, the hospital, clinics, things, that really can help us, like emergency care. They're designed to manage symptoms though. So we have to remember that, not to heal. Well, I guess bones can heal, right? So that's a little different. But say you have high blood pressure, you're on the blood pressure medicine forever. You never really get over that. So, very thankful for that. But there's some people that if they would just detoxify their liver and their liver was working better, you might not need as much blood pressure medicine as you think you do, because your liver is going to be made to work better, after you detoxify it. Because a lot of the things that we're putting on, including my daughter was put on different pain medicine called Neurontin, and it caused her not to be able to get out of her bed. And it was for pain. It did not help her pain at all. And she has the side effects of just being like dizzy. So many people are living on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 meds every single day, and the side effects are known or unknown. And some people just die because I feel like they're on so many. Now our pharmacists do try to pick up on those things, but it's really up to us to be an advocate for ourselves. And, doctors are great, but they should not be in place of our, God-given, humanness to figure out some things ourselves, because we know when we're feeling well and when we're not. 6.5 trillion a year spent on global healthcare, and are we healthier? So there is a natural approach, addresses body's needs and root causes, simply extracts from plants, roots, stems, trees, enhances physical and emotional health. So we'll talk about that. Some of the oils actually, like frankincense, it can actually treat a tumor, and it can also treat depression. So it's just genius how one oil can do like amazing things. There's safe benefits without side effects. So what are essential oils? We're going to go over that. How do you use essential oils, and how do you get them in your home? So essential oils are super effective. You can use them all 3 ways. We can definitely use them aromatically. We can definitely use them topically. And then the third way we can use them, some of them, I would say about 80% of them, we can use them internally safely. You just don't want to take a whole bottle in your mouth, of course, something like that. So there are some safety precautions for sure on the website. And this I'm talking about tonight is about doTERRA essential oils, because there are oils everywhere, gas stations, Amazon. There's fake doTERRA on Amazon, so never buy doTERRA on Amazon. You should only buy it from a doTERRA wellness advocate or directly from their website, because you don't know what you're getting otherwise. It could be something that causes you harm. All right, so essential oils, basically, what are they? So peppermint, for instance, right there, you can see they have a magnified leaf oil sac. So basically, if you had a peppermint, plant in your backyard, you could go and see that you could push down on part of this oil sac, and it would be released into your hand. And you could actually use it for, pain. You could use it for headaches. You can use it for in teas, all the things. But there basically contains natural aromatic compounds that are extracted and distilled from plants for health benefits. And if you are a believer in the Bible and God, like I am, we know that He said the plants and the trees should be our medicine. So it's great that felt very thankful, because like some people do go through their whole lives and they never find out, how we can actually treat ourselves like the Bible tells us to. All right, so essential oils pass through the cellular membrane. So there's this picture of a cell right there, and it actually shows, a pathogen inside the cell. And so the only way we can truly get to that pathogen is if it's a live substance. And that's why I believe that we did not get healing with my daughter, who was so sick with all the other, even ivermectin. She was on ivermectin, which everyone hears about, but she was never healed by that. We had to get to the essential oils, like things like thyme essential oil, that can actually penetrate the cellular membrane and make changes in the cell to help heal it. But we are comprised of hundreds of different compounds. Well, the oils are utilizing complex and versatile abilities, combat threats without building up resistance, work with the body to address issues and core, root causes at the cellular level. So for instance, again, back to the peppermint, because it is like such a joyous oil. You can use it, say, in peppermint tea to help the gut. It can actually, if you put a drop in your mouth, you can actually increase your oxygen saturation level. Like, I'm a nurse. Like, I'm just telling you, like, if you feel like you can't breathe, definitely grab your peppermint oil, because one drop is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So if you were with me tonight, you would grab your peppermint. And if you do have this at home, go for it. This is an oil class if you want to go use it. So I have my peppermint oil. Simply go ahead and put one drop in your hand and rub your hands together. And simply by doing the inhale, exhale, and you can do it with your mouth too, not just your nose, but the whole way, you get a breathing treatment. And so you can take that same drop there and put it on your head topically, or if you're on the computer all day, go ahead and do it to the sides over here, the neck. And it really just helps with head tension, neck tension. And it really is an old treatment. I really do feel like God put these in our lives so that we could have, relief from all these modern day issues that we all seem to have. And so it's 250 drops in the bottle. So it's not expensive to go ahead and use, like, say, a drop a day for sure. You could even do, I'm trying to think what else you do it aromatically, of course. Topically, we did that, and then internally. So it's affordable for sure. And then doTERRA is safe, 100% natural. It's safe enough for kids. I know our kids were well on their way to, adulthood, 12, 13, 14, when we first found it. But, whenever I do am blessed with grandkids someday, I'm definitely going to be doing it at the bottoms of the feet. I have friends that have little children and, little kids that start to have like RSV or something, like that croupy kind of cough. And you're thinking, oh no, oh my gosh, my whole life would have been different if I had the oils back then, because you can actually rub them on the bottoms of their feet very safely, even a baby. So cool. All right, so we don't want to talk about the different grades of essential oil. There are some essential oils that are synthetic, and some are therapeutic, but of course, doTERRA is the only one that is truly, certified, pure, tested grade. There's actually clinical research done with doTERRA from a university called Roseman University. That's Roseman. And they said there's no one else, not even close to doTERRA with the, with the oils. And that means that's because of their sourcing. They source mostly out of our country, like frankincense from the Middle East or lavender from France. So wherever it was first discovered, the soil is going to be different. The air, the environment is going to be different. And even that doTERRA has gone into these areas, and bonus farmers, if, they find out, they're organic, they're non-GMO. And of course, that's the only what they use, but they bonus the people there. So they kind of give back to those people. And, they build roads and they build hospitals, and they really, take in like a little community, the communities all over the world, and really help to give back, to them. But the plants are harvested in natural habitats, verified pure, free without fillers. The other oils you might see, I even didn't know this, but Whole Foods, I shop there for some groceries, but I used to shop for oils there. And I looked on the bottle and it says, do not consume. So that's when you know it's not pure because they've added things to it. So that's what's the difference is. But there's stringent third-party testing, not even in doTERRA that does the third-party testing. So we know it's pure. So how to use doTERRA essential oils. The first way we did talk about is aromatic. And that's what I thought as a nurse. Like I was like, people were like telling me, oh, I was in a co-op because I homeschooled our twins, like, oh, you need to use the oils to help heal your daughter. And I thought, oh my gosh, like, why do they think that it's going to be cured with aromatic use, But I didn't know there was anything so high level as to use essential oils as medicine. I didn't get that concept at all. I actually had to have a doctor's family. The people that really helped me was Dr. Josh Axe and his family, if you know who he is. They were using it for every single thing in their home. And they told me about, for instance, shrinking tumors and go to pubmed.gov and all these things. But I will say aromatic use is actually, I do use this way at bedtime because it's the best way to get the deepest sleep. So if you guys are hovering on like say 4, 5, 6 hours a night, try a diffuser, try keeping, it all right by your bed, because if you breathe it in, it opens your airways. A lot of us are stuffy right now with allergies everywhere, all the things, and it really boosts your mood. And if you only do it at bedtime, that does kind of like give you like that Pavlov's dog thing that you heard about in psychology class, where Pavlov got used to hearing a bell ring and he would go to the door to go outside. Well, for us, if we can get used to one essential oil that could change our lives, so I use peppermint because I'm opposite the world. I need an energizing oil to put me back to sleep. And so if I have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I will grab the peppermint next to my bedside and I'll say, okay, talk to myself, Linda, it's time to go back to sleep. You don't need to be up yet, so they can really freshen the air, and you can definitely take back your environment during your daytime use too. Say that you know that you have a problem focusing on your work, like you get easily, like you want to do something else. There's an oil called vetiver. And it's really good for ADHD, which a lot of people have borderline ADHD. So totally recommend the vetiver. All right, so then let me go to the next slide. Sometimes these slides are a little bit hard to move the slide. There we go. Okay, so it does talk about the peppermint. We did just talk about that quite a bit, but it is really like an amazing oil. All right, so there's wild orange. This one is also an amazing oil. This is like for PTSD and emotion issues, but it also can kill parasites. So it's like $13. So there is an essential oil recipe book I'm going to show you guys at the end, which I have online. So I have it on my computer all day long in case I need it. In case somebody texts me like, with an issue and I'm like, okay, let me shoot you a recipe because, for instance, wild orange can do so much. You can actually put it in your water, VeggieCap, which means you get a capsule, an empty capsule from doTERRA, and you could actually take it down every day if you don't like the taste of it. But it's very uplifting to the body and mind. So you really want to make your own, supplements at times too, because a lot of people just take supplements. They really don't know what they're doing for their body. But if you look up wild orange, it helps with PTSD. That could really help the whole body function better. All right. So topical use. Topical use would be things like if you have like a pain, or if you have, trying to think what else. Oh, the digestion, like my daughter. So there is an oil we're going to talk about in a minute, Digetsen. And Digetsen sounds just like the word, it helps you digest. So we actually used to use this roller ball of the digestion oil across her belly because she would like just say her belly hurt like all the time. And it was the lower part. And it was actually, we couldn't see it from all the conventional testing. Like the problem, she did endoscopy, she did colonoscopy. And I kept saying to the doctor, how can we see the small intestine? Because she keeps on pointing there. And they're like, well, she would have to have surgery. So I'm like, well, we're not doing that. So I just looked up essential oils to help with small intestine. And that was part of, what you do for research for whatever area of the body you're having a problem with. There is also these lovely oils that you can do something with them. But the digestion simply moved her bowel contents along. And she said, Mom, that stomach pain just moved from one side to the other. And that was her bowels that were constantly constipated. But the cool thing about digestion is this is the one that can replace most things in your toxic medicine cabinet, like my toxic medicine cabinet, because we used to have Maalox and Pepto-Bismol and all these antacids. And this can actually replace all of that. You can take a drop internally in water, and this helps, all the reflux. You can make a roller ball in case you're having reflux too. Or, you can roll it on the belly, because our GI system is really, really long, right? From it starts here, goes down to where we're, having the bowel movement. So you can really use digestion the whole way along, and it neutralizes the colon. So that means that if you're having diarrhea, it's going to slow the colon down. And if you're having, if you're in constipation, it's going to speed it up because it's of nature. It just kind of perfects your, that area. But topical use could also be a pain oil, and you could apply it and it doesn't cause, toxins in the body. It's just going to be pure, unadulterated oils. All right, so this is the Deep Blue. This is the best one for pain. So if you got the Deep Blue in your medicine cabinet, that could replace like Icy Hut. That could, because that's, you look about it, it's kind of toxic. Somewhat, it could replace something even like a narcotic, because a lot of people leave the hospital. I know I work on the mother baby floor, and our C-section mom has had surgery and they might have pain on their incision line. Well, if they knew, and I can't talk about it in my hospital, if they could combine frankincense and say Deep Blue. Frankincense is an anti-inflammatory, and this is for pain. So if they could try that, this could really replace even a narcotic. So it's really brilliant. Don't get people hooked on those meds during those surgical times. So internal use, that was the way that people told me that they could be used. And I was like, are you sure? Because on Google, there's all this information like you cannot do it and all this stuff. But there's on the doTERRA website, there is safety instructions on using internally. And there's different people that are in doTERRA that I've met personally, and they have had their health fully restored. One woman, you can follow her. She was a realtor making good money. And then she got some bad infection. They put her on antibiotic, and she was in a wheelchair for 2 years because of this antibiotic. And now she's she's been sharing doTERRA for years because she had this major, she researched which oils could help detoxify her from this, from the antibiotic. And she's been walking, she's not walking for 2 years. So look her up, Lisa Zimmer. Everybody can get a win if they really research what their problem is and move on. So she did do some internal usage. We did internal usage, but most of the protocols, you don't just guess. These are conventional doctors that went holistic, and they created, and are using these lovely recipes. But internal usage could be just a drop of oil in water. It could be under the tongue, like frankincense actually can cross the blood-brain barrier. And if you do have a threat of, say, a tumor, like my dad died of a tumor, so I just take a drop every day underneath my tongue, and I just know, well, I'm hoping to prevent anything, right? But then some people don't want to do that, and that's fine. They do have frankincense capsules. On the website, they also have a doTERRA frankincense roller ball that you could actually shrink some lumps and bumps with that. So it's super amazing. All right, so On Guard, this is the powerful immune system boost. And all this is simply wild orange, clove, cinnamon. And so if you look up each of those individual oils, and remember, these are all 50 to 7% more powerful than the herb. Nothing against herbs. I love herbs. There's this herb supplement I'm taking right now, and an oil supplement to help stop the dreadful allergies that are going on all over the place. And it's been great doing herbs and oils. But this one, it can kill 99.9% of all the bacteria. So if you were to use this in your home, you could replace a lot of toxic cleaners. So we make a cleaner of this, or you make a hand sanitizer from this. You would just you can Google up recipes for things like that. But the On Guard and say lemon and honey are awesome when you have a really bad sore throat, and you can just gargle with it. You always want to put water with it. I know I had a couple of in-person classes in the fall where we were making, kick the sludge in your throat kind of stuff. So we made our own honey, lemon, and On Guard, and it was like a cough syrup. It was great. So you can do a lot with it. You can use it aromatically. You can make cinnamon apples with it. Put one drop in some water with some diced apples. And so if you have a child there that you want to try to get a little oil, immunity oil into them, this is a great idea to make cinnamon apples. It's just great. But that replaces, there's a lot of vitamin C things out there on the market. I know that I used to take, what is it, the cold medicine, like it's not true cold medicine, but you increasing your immune system. This is pennies per drop. So you could get like a bottle of this for probably like $30, but you have it forever because it's like 250 drops. All right, so how can essential oils help you? So this is the new replaced medicine cabinet. So the top 10 essential oils can actually help with 85% of our issues. So that's incredible because there's one for like every single one. I am going to give you a printout at the end of this class so I can show you and you can print it off for yourself of exactly which oil can replace which toxic thing. So it's a great handout to have and store for when you need to have something in your in your new medicine cabinet. All right. So there's just all these different things but if you do listen to some doTERRA podcasts, ask me for the link to get into some of these doctor-led classes. They meet every single Wednesday. If you guys are on Facebook, they meet on Discover Essentials. And there's so many cool podcasts where you hear a lot of things that you just feel like so privileged to learn. The mouthwash here is supposed to, if you just had a recent cavity, it's supposed to heal it. So it's like, oh my gosh, it's brilliant things because it's, of the earth. It's supposed to help, calcify our teeth. So, but it's just genius. All right. So these are just daily things that they have, on their website. Of course, the toothpaste, these are non-fluoride toothpaste because fluoride is a neurotoxin. And I found that out whenever my daughter was so sick and I was trying to stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning and just read about like taking things out of our environment that are that aren't good for us. So of course, fluoride toothpaste is a neurotoxin. It can hurt our brain. It could be cancer causing. These digestive enzymes, we'll talk about them more in a little bit, but they actually help take toxins out of our body. So totally recommend. This helps a lot of digestive issues, just that one. Actually, our daughter Jennifer is still on that one today. And the probiotic, can't say enough about that because there's so much toxins in our world. We all need to take a good probiotic. All right, so this is going to be just a little bit about where the slide goes. Just where are we getting our toxins at? We're getting them from medications, toxic food, toxic homes, heavy metals, prenatal, and our cup is running over so that to the point where, we do see illness. So we want to make sure we limit as much toxins coming into our life so we can have a good life. So what are your top 3 things that you want to address? I know for myself, whenever I first was talking to my now mentor of 7 years, Sherry, I was like, oh my gosh, if I can just get my daughter better, she's got these terrible digestive things. She can't even have a bowel movement without an enema. I said, she has so many things. And I worked on every single issue and it was just God guiding. And within 3 months, no more chronic stomach pain, no more nausea. She was eating, she regained her 20 pounds. Took her a little bit longer than that, but you know what I'm saying? Like we just really addressed the major things. And then I'm like, okay, what else can the oils do? She's like, well, what are you dealing with? And I'm like, well, I'm getting sick every 3 months because I'm listening to people's lungs with my stethoscope and I'm in their face and I'm just getting sick. And she's like, you need the On Guard soft gels, and they have Melissa oil in them. So I went and I used those because a year later, after all this COVID started. So I haven't, knock on wood, I mean, God is helping. I don't get those illnesses that everybody get. I never got COVID. Now, other people might not have gotten COVID either, but like Melissa oil is the bomb. Look it up. It's antiviral. So if you were to go to the doctor during COVID and they just would say, it's a virus, you're just going to have to see if your body can fight it off. And if you can't fight it off, you're going to have to go to the hospital and, they might have to intubate you. So, which is not what anybody wanted to hear during the time. So Melissa oil is awesome. And I would say my third thing that I worked on and I was able to get over was sleep, because I used to be a night nurse and I used to be up all night. So whenever I stopped night nursing about 7 years ago or 8, I had this huge thing of trying to like sleep normally. So I've conquered that. And I used to be on a sleep med. I was actually on a sleep med called Restoril. I don't know if anybody knows about it, but it definitely makes you pass out. But I definitely never felt refreshed. So it was very, very thankful for figuring out with the essential oil-based supplements and oils to not have that. So look at your list and just go after those things. You can definitely get as many wins, if not more than I have. So are you ready to discover simple solutions for yourself and your kids? The Breathe Essential Oil is another one I wanted to talk about. Everyone's having allergies. I don't know how many of you all are in there, but like I'm talking about with people all day long today. So the Breathe Essential Oil is not one to take internally, but this can actually replace inhalers. So if you in your medicine cabinet, if you ever had like an inhaler, or if you ever had anything for breathing, this is one that can replace all those things. You definitely just get one drop, just like we did with the peppermint, put it in your hands, and you're just going to do a breathing treatment. Now for asthma, you also want to do frankincense on the chest, because, if you're like, you're just like, going to stop breathing, you need to have the frankincense here too, and the breathe. And if you still want to go to the hospital, go. But hopefully by the time you get to the hospital, you will have calmed down and you will see that those oils are working. So it's just brilliant. But they really help you maintain feelings of easy breathing and clear airways. It is safe to diffuse most all these oils around dogs too, especially the Breathe. There's an essential oil vet called the Essential Oil Vet. You can find her on Facebook, and she does all these really cool podcasts about a lot of oils being very safe for dogs. So it's super cool. Like you can even use a frankincense rollerball to shrink lumps and bumps, but definitely this Breathe, because all the dogs are outside rolling around in the pollen right now in the grass, and they're coming in and, coughing. I think one of our dogs was actually coughing this past weekend. So you can definitely do something in your home to stop that. All right. The digestive blend, we did talk about that. That just helps maintain the healthy GI tract, bloating, gas. You can use it, like say you put a drop in water and it doesn't seem to help have a bowel movement. Go ahead and get a roller ball and do it on the outside too. It's not like more is better, but basically your cells, we don't know like how your cells are going to respond. So some people respond better to one drop of the digestin internally for the digestive discomfort. And some people, the roller ball works. Everybody's so unique. So try both. All right. And then past tense, this is one for migraines. So you can go to the doTERRA website and look. It has like about 8 different oils in it, but it really helps with the dreadful migraines, the aura that goes behind the eye. And it really relieves the feelings of head and shoulder tension, discomfort. Use invigorating, pick me up, definitely. Like if say you're speaking somewhere and you just need some confidence, this just gives you all of that. I've done it at the back of the brainstem. It's great. So tea tree is great for acne. It's also, believe it or not, good for ear infections. Whenever I first got into the oils, my kids, as I said, were kind of too old to be having ear infections and such. But what I would have given to have this, because I do feel like the antibiotics did hurt my daughter's gut. And so if we would have known about tea tree and lavender, those two can help an ear infection. You simply would get a cotton ball and put 2 drops of tea tree, 2 drops of lavender. And if you're an adult and having this problem, you can try it. But every human body has a frequency. Every oil has a frequency, like a frequency means it has energy, power to move things. So if you simply get 2 drops of tea tree, 2 drops of lavender on a cotton ball, that can actually move ear infection out. It's brilliant. You can also create a roller ball for behind the ear, but that's just awesome. All right, so here's lavender. It does talk about lavender next, soothe irritated skin. So this one, it doesn't say it here, but I can tell you the behind scenes part about lavender. I keep it in my kitchen because it actually helps with burns. So if you don't cook every night, but you do occasionally and you burn yourself like I do, the lavender is brilliant. It will help take away a second-degree burn. It will help prevent you having to go to the burn clinic. Like if you have it all over your body, I'm not saying that you won't have to go to the burn clinic, but if you get, they used to have in the 1800s, look it up, that they had vats of lavender, and that's how they would treat the body before the pharmaceuticals came in the picture. So a lavender is super powerful. You would try to get a carrier oil with it so it could go deeper into the tissues, or honey. Most people have a honey in their kitchen. So if you get a scalding burn on your hands, like you reached and you pick something. One of my other daughters did that. So we had honey in her kitchen and the lavender. And within 5 minutes, you couldn't tell that she had a burn. It was brilliant. And of course, lavender does help with sleep, of course. Serenity. This one is like lavender four squared. Like it's just maximized luxury for sleep. They do have a sleep kit on their website where they put Serenity soft gels in this stick. And so you can actually diffuse it, take a capsule, and then they have the roller ball, and it's great for just sleeping, best optimum conditions. And you can combine some of the oils in a diffuser, I was going to say. So say you have allergies and you want to do the breathe, and say you have a problem sleeping and do the Serenity. It's just very anointing to have two oils together to medicinally help the body. Fractionated coconut oil. This is what we usually get to create all our roller balls for all the oils, because what most people do is they get like a set of oils and then they actually want to create roller balls to put around their house, like one for pain, one for digestion, one for stress, one for sleep, and then they're just, your oils will be used all the time that way. Aroma Touch, this one is great. I had somebody scan on their Zytoscan for it that has chronic pain in their back. So I was just setting him up with his things last Friday. And so this one is really great for bone on bone pain. Like say, you know, somebody has bone on bone pain, they're waiting for they might still need to have that knee replacement surgery, but at least while they're waiting, they're going to have comfort from the Aroma Touch. But it's a massage therapist use this quite a lot. It's great. And you should use it on the back of the brain stem. You can use it the whole way down the vertebrae. Our vertebrae was one of the first things created during the first, the trimester whenever the body is forming. So it's a great thing to just have that, ability to use like an oil on something that was created first that will actually help diminish our pain. All right, frankincense, we did talk about that a lot, but it's just the king of the oils, rightly so. It does so many things, chronic pain. They do have some frankincense soft gels, which has something called botsuela in it. So botsuela and frankincense together, it's been helping with chronic pain. So it does come in a soft gel for that one. But I usually get the real deal here, just get the oil. And, I just feel really anointed whenever I try it. So definitely a challenge you to try it every day, and you'll feel less inflammation in your body because that's what it does. I did want to mention during COVID, I kept getting reoccurring rashes all the time on my face because of the mask. I would do 3 12s a week and always have the mask on, and I would get irritated underneath and I would have this rash. And so I wasn't like that far along in my oil knowledge, and I was like groping, and I'm like getting put on a steroid, actually, me, an old person steroid. And it was not fun because like I started to gain weight and I started to like not remember things. I wasn't as quick and witty. And I'm like, okay, what can I do? So I went to out of our country's web browser. I went to one in England and I found a essential oil steroid recipe. So it's frankincense, turmeric, and ginger. So if you know anyone that needs like a steroid replacement for toxic medicine cabinet kind of situation, those 3 are just amazing. Because remember, frankincense is anti-inflammatory, and you would do like 3 drops in a veggie cap, or you could put it in water, 3 drops of ginger, and ginger goes straight through your body. It's like an Ayurvedic type thing. It's just really it warms up the body. It kind of reboots you, kind of like a steroid does. And then, of course, the turmeric also, it can shrink tumors too. There's 3 oils that can shrink tumors. So there's turmeric, frankincense, and clary sage. But so 2 out of 3 of those can shrink tumors. So if you have those in your arsenal, totally recommend those for replacing the steroid, because steroids have so many side effects. Lemon essential oil, this is a great detoxifier for the liver. So if you have anything in your cabinet that's supposed to help with liver detoxification, this one does it so much better. It's 50 to 7% more powerful than a regular lemon, and it's from the rind, the outside of the lemon. And so it's like 30 lemons inside a bottle of doTERRA essential oil. This is one of the least expensive oils. It's like $15 for 250 drops. So we actually use it for a cleaner. So I'll make a spray with the On Guard lemon, some white vinegar, and spray at different places to clean. But then also daily, before I go ahead and do anything else like coffee or anything, put a little drop or 2 of lemon in your water, like 4 ounces. And that way you can actually start to detox your liver over time. Also, one of my friends who is a nurse practitioner, when she started getting into the oils, and this was around COVID time too, she said she was getting her dad to do it because she likes to create protocols for him. And he was retaining fluid in his ankles. And so all of a sudden he was like, all that fluid dissipated. So like, it's amazing what, like, you're trying to clean out your liver, but the side benefit is he also didn't have fluid in his ankles anymore. So this is what I'm saying, like, frankincense also, I want to mention, I know I keep mentioning these things, but this is important. So if you do frankincense for, say, under eye lines, podcast I listened to said that will help improve your vision. So it's just, you can just do it every night and see if your vision correction is less when you go to your yearly, vision checkup. All right, Terrazyme. This is the digestive enzyme that actually can take trash out of your body. This is actually told by me from another doctor that it's more important than essential oils because it can actually take your food and take out, like, say, GMOs or whatever is not good for you out. So that's super important to have, especially in today's world of some fake foods out there. But it does actually break down the good food and gives it to our body for, like, say your digestion's off, like myself, like I don't have a gallbladder. So I need that extra step to make sure I don't feel bloated, and make sure I do have regular bowel movements. So it's super awesome. All right. So they do have vitamins, of course. The vitamins, they do have 2 different kinds of vitamins. They have the chewable, well, actually they have 3. They have a chewable, they do have, these VeggieCap ones with an omega, and they also have a drinkable. So as long as you look at one of these and just say, you know what, I'm going to commit to it. Because honestly, if you are chronically sick, like we were, I wasn't doing any vitamins before my daughter was sick. Like, not, like I think I did a gummy or something, but like I had some issues just like my daughter, but nothing quite as bad as her. But I know I scanned for parasites, for instance, and if you don't have a good microbiome, like good bacteria, more good bacteria than bad bacteria, you're going to get sick more often. So I do buy, like, so this vitamins, Lifelong Vitality, it's actually the most affordable vitamin on their website because they tell you to take a double portion so you can actually share it with somebody in your house. And I think it's average like $40 a month. So it's actually a lot less expensive than, say, some of the ones we buy at the grocery store. So, and they come in vegan and sachet packs that are ready made, or the canister. So those are great. The drinkable is really delightful, and I do kind of change back and forth, but this one is definitely very good and easy to use. It does talk about what it is: Microplex VMZ, bioavailable. So they put oils in their vitamins so that the body receives it, versus if you buy it from the grocery store, if you can check on your vitamins somehow. Like Zytoscan actually does check on people's vitamins and let us know if they need vitamins. And if they're taking vitamins and they're actually scanning for vitamins, that means that their vitamin is not working because they're scanning for it. Omega really helps our heart. It can help your blood pressure. So omegas, I've heard some wins from different people that these vitamins help get people off their blood pressure medicine because it causes like less inflammation in the body. It causes more energy and better mood. So they have a money back guarantee on this one too. All right, so it does talk about like here's a great protocol to use for every single human being if you ever think, gee, what should I be doing every day? This is from Doctors Guided, 2 capsules with morning and noon meals, digestive support, digestive enzymes, lemon. Now it's digestive support, but it's also called a precursor for glutathione, and glutathione can actually help protect us from cancer. Frankincense can also protect us, of course, from tumors and things like that. On Guard can help our immune system. Balance actually is because we're indoors a lot of the time. We should consider an oil like Balance because this is the grounding oil. So it can help us feel like one of the earth instead of we're part of the computer. Like we don't want to be part of technology, and the probiotic. So, but I know that sounds like a lot of regimen, but I actually do a lot of this daily. And they actually have a program where you get 10% back of your order every month for 3 months, but then it grows to be 30%. So if I spend $150 on myself, which is pretty easy for me to do, I get $45 back every month. And so it's just genius that they have that. So they're just blessing us with, like a third of your order back. So how do you get these life-changing oils in your home? There's many kits. I'll flip through these really quick because there's just so many different needs out there, but the top 10 oils do help with 85% of your challenges. They do have a replace your home kit. If you really just feel like your home is totally in need of help, that's a great one. This is the healthy home kit that can replace a lot of, toxic things, in the bathrooms, because even soaps can be toxic. Like you could actually be washing your hands with something that's toxic and things. But there's the program right there that they do have to bless us with 30% back of our order. And also I wanted to mention there's 3 types of people in the doTERRA world. There's the first type of person, 80% are customers, and they just are customers, and we love our customers for sure. But if you do feel like people that need this, you could become a sharer and actually make commission, or actually become, the wellness advocate, like that I'm purposely doing it every single day. Like I make appointments with people. I'm doing speaking engagements. I'm doing classes. Like if any of that is on your heart, like a second or third type of person, you can change people's lives because we're only in this life for a short time. So I'm like, okay, sure, I'll still work at the hospital every other weekend, but I'm going to do this part full time because I really feel like so many people I've seen wins with, like people stopped tremoring and they were told that they would never stop tremoring. It's just genius that these oils exist, that they're so pure. There's also sharing, a share guide on how to host a class and things like that. There's a business overview guide if you all want to know like how much money you could make. It's crazy. Like I don't worry about the money. God worries about that, or he doesn't worry about that. But like whatever I do is just from God, and whatever he gives me is from God. But I will tell you that it's definitely replacing a huge part of my nursing income because I work less and less, and I just do this more and more. So definitely change the world, change your own world in your own home, change lives of others, and you will never be disappointed. They do have a Healing Hands Foundation in other countries. The Give Back program of like making clean water sources and hospitals and schools. So it's great that every single bottle that we buy, we're actually blessing them back. So we're blessing each other. It's a great feeling in that capacity. So doTERRA improves lives every day all around the world. So we invite you to join us in one way, either customer, share, wellness advocate. There's actually this new program called the Pathway to $500. So if an extra $500 would be important to anybody, definitely, let me know and I can tell you more about how to get there. If you do want to host a class, I do help you get one of these keychains. So you always have your favorite oils on that keychain. Because classes are just great online or in person. So there's definitely ways to get oils in your home. We can definitely send one of these sheets over to you guys. I'm going to post some other links in a few minutes, but I did want to talk quickly about castor oil. So castor oil is something that's been around for centuries, and it can actually shrink lumps and bumps. If you follow Dr. Barbara O'Neill, she does talk about it. And so if you add, say, frankincense and castor oil together on your face at night, it's going to deeply penetrate, wrinkles or lumps and bumps and things. You can also, here it's recommending from doTERRA, you can massage 2 drops into dry skin spots in the morning. and just have it work during the day. You could use it on your hair, on your scalp with rosemary. Rosemary actually helps to grow our hair, which is incredible. And then peppermint is really just elating. There's also tea tree that actually can kill bugs and things, just to help prevent all that. But castor oil is great. You can do a castor oil pack on your abdomen for soothing support. We did a class in person last week, but if you do it like say 2 to 3 times a week and you put this pack right on your liver, and I'm going to give you guys a free ebook for coming in a few minutes. But the castor oil ebook, it does talk about exactly how you do it, but you would take like say a tablespoon of castor oil and put whatever oil. The latest oil that everybody loves right now is called Revitazine, and actually can detox your kidneys, your liver, and your large intestine. So people love it. So they put a couple drops in that castor oil pack and put it over your liver, and you can actually feel like the next day you're getting more. That's without even taking anything internally, just putting the castor oil on your abdomen. You feel like your bowel movements are increasing, which is great because that means it did something while you slept. So it's great. So you could warm 1 to 2 tablespoons in your hands, apply to abdomen or area, cover with a cloth. You can also add 1 to 2. It talks about the Revitazine in there. Geranium is great for hormone balance. But right here it talks about increases circulation. So everyone's talking about lymphatic system, that, things get stuck in the body. So this can actually help with healing the lymphatic system. But you do need to use it like a certain amount per week, like 2 or 3 times a week. It's great for skin care. It's a disinfectant. It can protect us from burns and helps our wounds from, heal from infection, helps in treating acne. Like the list goes on and on. It treats fungal infections, eases constipation, slow the progression of rheumatoid arthritis. And these are all like clinical research, International Journal of Innovative Research and Technology right there. Okay, so finally I wanted to talk, and I'm going to give you guys a bunch of links in a minute. There is the Zytoscan. So I found that about a year after I started, into the oils for my daughter and myself. But like, this was genius. Like, it's FDA approved. It's been around 30 years. And it's so genius, y'all. Like the creator of it, Von Cook, he just came up with a video last week that he was saying the people he has scanned that have been to Duke or Johns Hopkins or all these universities looking for answers for why they're sick all the time, he can look at their Zytoscan, their detoxification, gastrointestinal, hormonal, immune areas where they would have had to go to 4 different departments at a hospital. And he knows exactly how to help them with a protocol. So it's just genius. So it also gives us a teeth report, a vertebrae report, a food scan to tell you exactly what whole foods your body wants and what it doesn't want, and even a meridian acupuncture report. So it's just great. It's galvanic skin response, like the lie detector test. Your body cannot tell a lie. I'm actually mentoring some people now to do it too, because it's so brilliant. I can't do all the Zytoscans myself. So if you ever want to learn how to do Zytoscans or have a Zytoscan, let me know that as well. All right, so there's the QR code that we started with at the beginning, just in case anyone popped on that first started. Make sure you, scan that, or you can also text me at 919-215-5232 and just let me know you were on and you want to have a wellness consult. I know that there's some other people on here. I know my friend Jessica is co-hosting this tonight, and so if you were invited by her, make sure you see her after class. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to give you guys the links that I promised, because the links are just too good not to. I can't minimize it. Okay. So I'm going to have to actually, I guess, share my screen again to go back into the links. That's probably what I'm going to have to do. Okay. So I'm going to go out of my PowerPoint. Yeah, if you guys hang out on Zoom, sometimes it's kind of like trying to figure out how to get off one. So let me try to like move this down. Let's see here. Yeah. All right, it's not working. All right, so I'm going to have to, without your knowledge, I'm going to go to the screen and then I'll copy and paste it. Let me do that. Let me put back on the ability to talk because you guys, I know, probably have some questions. So I'm going to stop the recording because this part of the class is just going to be for the handouts anyway. So I'm going to stop the recording.